Good morning. You know, it's funny to me how few yeahs and preaches and tell 'em brothers I get, and how much negative pushback I get from people who are very obviously women pretending to be men on the internet. Now, I'm not allowed to talk about social assassination and gender roles in civilization because your reality is built around what you see and what you hear and what you read, and you only engage in social media. And social media is populated and controlled by college sophomores. So you only know what a college sophomore knows, which means you don't know anything because the university education doesn't begin until your senior year. Because university education ain't shit until after you've had your master's degree. That bachelor's degree that all these people are walking around with, that ain't worth the shit in their ass. You know how I know this? Because it's underwritten by debt. You know what debt is worth? How much you can get people to gamble over how quickly it takes you to default on that debt. Everything the university system talks about isn't worth shit. It's a giant debt balloon waiting to burst. And what is true is that while only 39% of the graduating class from universities since 2020 has been female, there is a growing percentage of females who are graduating that enroll who finish, and a declining number of males who enroll and finish. That's only since 2020. It's actually been a trend since about 2002. And so what that means is that everything that's been an expression of social media since about 2002 has been females. But we're not allowed to talk about gendered roles in civilization. So let's talk about a pre-civilizational people. Let's talk about Rome. What did Rome's women do? They were 51% of the population by averages. So what were they doing? And then you have to figure that because the elite came in pairs, because no elite person was an elite without being married and without progeny. So behind every elite man in Rome was an eliter woman, because she was the bearer of the children. She was the one that had to survive at all costs. What did they do with their time? Well, they spent their time socially assassinating one another. Not just the women, the slaves, and their husbands, and other children, their children even. Shit, you know about the Drusilla, right? I think that's her name. The grandmother of Claudius who killed Augustus, was it? Yeah. The women of Rome were bloodthirsty assassins. Not just of your character, like on Twitter today, but actually they would poison you in public. That's how Claudius died. His wife killed him. Poisoned him at a dinner party so that everybody in the elite of Rome got to watch his ass die, and they got to have a great big laugh about it. And so I'm also not allowed to talk about politics since 2016, but I was on the internet. I had girlfriends. I was single for some of that. Been single for a lot of it, actually. Form your own conclusions. I'm only here to mindfuck you into being nice to people, which means I'm saying this from the nice part of my spirit.